9. Like, I don't take any calls or
Okay.
So like she was not part of the people who can call me after 9, and she would make me feel bad.
She was not part of the
She was not part of the VIP. So she would make me feel bad for that. And also when I say, because that's when I started walking with Christ and everything, I'd be like, no, I don't drink anymore. I don't want to drink like how we used to. I don't want to go to the club anymore. I said, oh, no, you're boring now. And she would try to say, no, you got to you're boring. And she would say to me, but look, I also pray, but I also work at a club. And I'm like, but it's different. You know,
that's not your conviction.
Yeah, it's different. And she's like, no, God takes you as you are, you must just live your life. But I'm like, no, it doesn't feel right for me.
And you know what, I must say, it's actually harder with the people that claim to know God.
Yeah.
It's not those that like are far off from Him that will make you feel like, it's these ones that are going to church and you felt like, oh my God, God is praying. But when you make the changes, like when you like solidify your walk with Christ, suddenly to them it feels like an attack. Suddenly you feel like it feels like you're saying you're better. Like God said, God drank wine with His friends all the time.
He
drank wine to wine. It's literally those ones that will make you feel bad. And like, I thought you would understand this. I thought you would get this. Like I really thought you would understand this. Like like how am I getting this from you? Like can't they, now you start questioning. Can't they do more
People at church, they'll say, no, we want you to find Christ, we want you to walk with Christ. But the minute that you start doing it, it's like, just like you said, no, you think you're better. It's like they want you to do good and be better, but they actually don't want you.
Not better than they.
Not better than they.
Like your walk with Christ must always be mediocre. It must be lukewarm.
Yeah, they must always be on top and look like
Before we go, you guys are gonna. I can see that the conversation is gonna go on a tangent.
Yeah.
I want to come back to the it hurts part.
Okay.
I want to go.
Sorry. No, it hurts. It hurts, and I wanted to talk about that because I wanted to add on to what Gugu was saying. My personal experience. That's why at the beginning, when we started recording, I said that there's different phases of you getting to know God, depending on. I mean, from an early age, I knew God because we were going to church routinely. Then there was a phase where I sort of started getting an understanding, but I wasn't there yet. I wasn't intentional. I was still living vicariously through someone else, right? And then I'm now in this phase where I'm being very intentional about, now it's me and God alone, right? And there's different feelings associated with those transformations that I call it a transformation, those different phases. So, the beginning of 2022, I started becoming very intentional about my walk with God. And there was a point in time where it hurt, like physically even, guys. And I couldn't understand why. But then I started praying more, starting to, like, I need God to give me the answers. Or why does it hurt? Because now you have to withdraw yourself from crowds. God really works with you best when you're in isolation. That's why the Bible says in your secret closet, that is where it most matters. That is where your relationship with God most matters. So that is where the work for me was being done. And I realized, I think I only got a revelation a year later. The reason it hurt at that time was because of your flesh and your spirit were literally fighting. Your routine, you're used to going out. You're used to doing certain things or going somewhere. Didi, every Friday we know, every Sunday, church. You know, that routine, I am now intentionally, and you're now becoming aware of the fact that you're trying to leave this thing. And that's why it hurts, because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's the point and part where your flesh is now weak. And I wanted to round it back to when you are in this transformation process, your friendships, right? How do you navigate your friendships? You guys were talking about it before we were recording. Okay, man. I don't know if you're sighing because you don't understand my question.
No, I'm sighing because I have relatable content. That's why. That's why I'm sighing, man. Because I feel like our deepest desire is that to take along everyone with us. You know where you're going and you just want to bring them with you, and unfortunately that can't be. Like we said before we started recording, not everyone is going to have that seed planted in them, and you can't plant that seed. I mean, you can try, but if God didn't do it, he's not going to do it, and maybe he will do it at a later stage, but it won't happen at the same time. So I feel like it hurts because your flesh knows these people, your flesh is comfortable with these people, and the desires are mostly common, they're mutual. You know, everything that you did, you guys did it together, and now you're doing this thing alone, and it calls you to do it alone. You know, and also I think it's like you also have to give God that space to be your friend now. How can you with like 10 million friends in your presence? Like, where is God going to fit in all of that? So it hurts, man. It's like a new life. Like, you have to let go of like all of that. I mean, not everyone, of course. I mean, especially with me, I'm very fortunate that there are friends that I could able to take on this journey because they're also going through the same thing. But not all of them were in it, you know. And of course, like I said, now the ones that are not in it, they I'm not going to tell you straight to your face that wabora no. But they make
I know that's so sad because I've never experienced that.
Really?
Like, no. So when she was saying that, I was like, Jesus.
I see
never. So it's. I'm just very blessed. I don't want.
You are very blessed. I've also had that phase where like people don't vibe with me
should
anymore.
I ask, maybe like in your case, was the transformation not as loud?
Or have you always had people in an like you've always been in an environment, batuba, supportive or whatever the word is,
like aligned into that?
I think that I have friends around me, or even in the stage of knowing God deeply for myself now, I had friends that were really, except for that one.
There's always that one.
I had friends that really were supportive, and they are still supportive. If my girl, I just need to fast. How are you feeling? My walk with God right now is not where I know it used to be. And sometimes I feel like I'm in a space of there's a lot of quiet, and I don't understand it, but I'll understand it when I get out of it. So, but people are like, it's gonna be okay. So I've never experienced a friend or a family member. No, or a family member. This is no longer for me. What's a king? No, I can't do that. Oh my gosh, I've never.
Whoa.
That's nice.
I mean, not wabora verbatim, but you can see when people don't certainly
guys
don't
wabora verbatim.
I'm telling you, that's the thing.
Literally,
I know people might act differently, but verbatim,
like literally, like wabora, bro. Like, what do you mean you're not gonna do that anymore? Like, what do you mean you can't go there anymore?
I feel like confused.
It just in this, just by what I'm telling you, I feel like you can see how loud the transformation was. You can see that like the life that I lived to the life that I live now is vastly different. And that's the evidence of it. Having people tell me now, like,
verbatim, my girl
wabora, toto di postan dia bora, toto di etang no wabora. We don't relate to you right now.
No,
like,
but that's tough. I'm not gonna lie. For somebody to say that in your
like,
face is
now I'm going back to God. God, baka bora. You know, and it sucks because you don't feel that wabora.
Like I said, like, the people are not meant to be in your life. They will always try to pull you back to a life that you're trying to run away from or trying to walk away from. They will always try to pull you back.
And it's like, you know, that life, like, it's like, you know,
the cost of that life. Why would you want me there?
Yeah, they know it. It's like they just always want to see you down and out. They want to be that friend. Remember, I was like the friend that is always there to help you when you're down and out, but never the friend who's there to uplift you and to be happy with you. They always want to be that friend because somehow it makes them feel better about themselves. Like, oh, okay, I know Tato, she's a crash out. And
She's always,
you know,
in the pits.
she's a mess. She's a hot mess. She's a hot mess.
Like,
and I'm the one who's always there to come and save her.
Yeah.
So it gives them that superiority over you.
Savior complex.
Savior complex. So I know you're crash out. You're gonna need me. So I think also with your walk, some of them might be feeling like, okay, how to last? It's not gonna last. I know she's gonna call me. She's gonna be crashing out, and we're gonna be doing what we used to do.
Yeah. I think it's also that they know now that I don't need them. And it's like, how do I fit in your life now when you don't need me? You know, and also like what I said earlier on, that I actually never needed anyone. I just wanted friends, you know. But now when you don't know what love is without giving, you must always be giving. Now I'm not in a place of lack anymore. God is providing all that I need. Even advice. Are you fine with me calling you and telling you that, oh my gosh, I'm so happy? You see, are you fine with me telling you, oh my gosh, God, oh my gosh, I can't believe what God has been doing in my life? Are you gonna clap for me, or in the whole time you think, are you waiting for me to say, oh, but I needed you so bad?
Like, friend, let's go get a joint.
Yeah.
Like, they're waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
So, are we still live? Oh, sorry, my phone was ringing, so I was just. I want to ask, once you're in that transformation, I don't know. I almost said you won't relate because, wow, girl, you are blessed.
You are blessed.
You are blessed, shame.
I think that just because it doesn't come from Waboga, but there's a lot of shedding that happened that maybe that you don't see from the outside, but had to happen inside as well. So some things don't happen from shame. I'm very blessed to have friends that really are like, I'm gonna support you. But as I said, there was a crazy one as well.
Let's not forget that part.
I want to ask, once you're in that transformation, ne, especially wena or wena as well. Not that it's not directed to you. Not that it's not directed to you. I'm just asking, Hore. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm coming back. Give me 2 seconds. Once you're in that transformation, once you've received Christ and what's so not, and now you are starting to become conscious and aware of the relationships that you have around you, do you feel some sort of obligation to take them with you in terms of trying to save them, man? Like,
I know what you
do you understand what I'm saying?
I also struggled with savior complex, right? And I had a friend. I feel like it's a very much a snowball effect. So there's a friend that believed that they could save me, and I believed that I could save another one. You know, because we are all such a mess. We are, misery loves company. We are all very much miserable. I mean, people smoke every day, every 2 minutes. You can't be grand. Yeah. So I had a savior complex in the sense, okay, God, you saved me, help me save this person. But actually, no, I'm not lying. I'm not even saying help me save this person. I stayed in that person's life because I thought I'm sent to save them. Until God reminded me that I'm the only savior, my girl. I am the only savior. There's nothing you can do for any person. If God doesn't want it, they don't want it. And I'm not saying He'll never save them, but it will happen in His own time. He will do it in His own way, and He might not even use you, and you must be okay with that. So I had I'm telling you, my sister, there are people that I was like, I can't take you with me. I want to with my whole heart, but God did not call you here with me. So there's nothing I can do. I'll send a divesic or the Bible, I'll foster. But if you don't want to, there's nothing I can do.
And it's okay.
How
How did you extend grace towards yourself in that season of your life?
It was kind of hard because obviously to me, it was just like, God, they all hate me. Everyone hates me. And it's like, I mean, they all hated you too, so it's okay. So you find verses and you find comfort in Him at all times. I never want to rely on myself. Every single time I'm sad, I'm like, please take this garment of mourning and turn it into dancing. And I just stay quiet, and He genuinely does. He does all the time.
Please take this
Garment of mourning and turn it into dancing. That sounds 30.
Sure. I'm listening. Yeah.
So it's just not wanting to rely on yourself, especially like I've never been here before. And in as much as I do have Christian friends, I know no one has ever been here before. He does have every journey is different, and mine especially feels very unique to me and to him, and only him will understand. So I always take it to him like, God, they hate me now. God, I can't take it. God, wow, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So I just sit still, man. I just sit still and let it all happen. I don't like. Most of the time, I wanted to do things. Get send the paragraph, getting. But at the end of the day, who gets the glory? Tato saved her. God does not want that. So I had to be okay with the fact that I can't save everyone. I'm not sent to this earth to save anyone. He is the savior. So it's okay if I can't help a friend. I mean, I can only pray for them, and that's the best I can do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And how do you guys, how do you sit in that timeline? Like timeline ya ho lenda timdimo ha di tshwane.
Yeah.
And you were talking about we always pray people out of our lives, but it's also so important to pray people into our lives. You're fighting this thing, Yahore. You feel this huge responsibility that because you're saved, everyone around you needs to be saved. You're also fighting the fact that you're trying to leave, so like certain people need to leave behind, right? So that you can pick up next people or whatever. But the time, do you have a timeline?
The worst thing you can do for God is give Him a time frame. 1 hour, December, God, if you don't do this, like honestly speaking, you prayed over it. You said, give me. You said, take. You let Him do. Like you prayed. You never give it time frame or okay. You just sit still in that time and you just watch it unfold. If that friend is still there, it's fine.
I think my question is, what do you do then in the waiting period?
Like, do you mind that friend? Are you also do you mind that friend? I feel like don't. Like, in my, like I told you, Nam, because I don't want to be in the same space as we. But it's not like if you send me a text, I'm gonna mind you. Like if you send me a text, like to you must say you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know that I'm struggling. Why must I put it on you now and tell you your guys send text? No, you know, it sounds so crazy. So in the meantime, you do whatever that you are doing. Like I'm not gonna go to your house. I know I'm not gonna go to your house. But if you say I'm coming to your house, I'm sure. Because I mean, you're in my house now. You can't come with that zah, you know. But like, you just you do whatever that you're doing, knowing that you're trusting in God to do it. You prayed over this person, and if he's still there, maybe she's meant to be there.
Yeah.
But you guys are not meant to be doing that thing, and like it's working out. So if I send a message, you know, I can't be block. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing now? Because at the end of the day, you're going to feel bad and you're going to say, God, why am I? You understand? Now the prayers are changing, the moods are changing, and Gwen now that's doing all the work instead of him. So I feel like in the meantime, just do whatever that you've been doing. And with that, give me friends. I mean, I'm not saying go out and, hey, do you want to be my friend? No, you like literally live your life. You pray, you know, live your life, pray and wait. Like just be expectant every day. Be expectant for him to remove. Be expectant for him to give. But there's nothing that you should be doing. There's nothing. Maybe if he tells you, okay, there's this girl, send her a message. Then you can send her a message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then with every shift that happens, how do you balance your mental and your relationship with God, guys? Let's talk about that.
With every shift,
We've established, Tori, there's a lot that's happening. And it's affecting your mental health. I'd like to think that I could be wrong. Your state of mind will determine the state of temperature that you have with God in that phase.
Okay, with me it's different because so this year, like I said, like for Lent, I normally give up alcohol. So this year I was like, okay, let me try something different. So I started Bible studying from at like 7, like at Bible study like at 7, and then like from 8, like I'll just praise and worship. So I did that. So like I saw my life change. So it got to a point where whenever I was feeling stressed, like I was like, okay, you know what? I need to pray about this. So that time, like the 2 hours that I dedicated every day for 40 days to God, like they brought me so much peace. I don't want to lie. Like, so like I'd be so stressed, like, but I'm like, it's okay. I could go chinchana Bible study or anything, like I'm gonna pray. Even in that 40 days now, like I had an interview, like I really, really wanted that opportunity. It was a scholarship, like I really, really wanted it. It didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. Like I'm gonna stick to this. Like I'm gonna stick to my routine with God. And I stuck with him, And I stuck with him. And I think 2 months later I got a new opportunity. So for me, like whenever I'm stressed at work, relationship, personal life, whatever, friendships, I take it to him. Ever since I started Lent, ever since I started Bible studying in March, like I take everything to him now. Like that's like my safe space. Like I feel so much at peace. The other day I was talking to a group of people and they were asking us, okay, how do you handle stress? Like what do you do to relax? And I was like, actually praying also. Praying for me, it gives me so much peace, and I feel
Can
like
you talk about how in corporate world we get so shy when we want to say pray, but
yeah, they look at you like hey. Yeah, they look at you like crazy. So for me, like praying, it gives me so much peace. Yeah.
I think that's so interesting, actually, because I'm in a company that just prays. And
You are so blessed.
No. I really am blessed with that because it really does remind, even though sometimes I don't agree with whatever somebody is saying or the way you're interpreting the Bible, it really does remind me and bring me back to God. Whether I like it or not. Whether you're saying it the way do you get me?
Yeah.
Whether I want it or not. I think in regards to mental health specifically, we must pray about everything and anything. There's a video I once watched and this girl was like, Holy Spirit, please help me find my keys. And I was like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
I want to, like, when I'm at work, laptop and Jesus, please fix this laptop because I need to work.
Yeah.
I pray about everything and anything. Jesus, this pain. Jesus, I'm not okay now. I pray about everything and everything anyway, not just at a specific time also.
I think one thing that I don't take for granted is how God has orchestrated my life. So I've always known God, like we said, man, our foundations were there, right? But my mom's passing is the one that like drew me closer to him. But the way he did it was so funny because I went to therapy first, and I always thank him for that because I don't think I would be able to be where I am right now if it wasn't for that therapist, right? So because I had that therapy, now all these things, they feel so minor that I'm able to just take it to him. But I know wholeheartedly that he knows that if he didn't send me to therapy first, I wouldn't be able to handle these things that feel minor. They would feel big. They would feel bigger than they are, right? So I'm glad that I was able to take out that pain, and I was able to work through therapy with like childhood trauma, these big things, and that is out of the way now. That now I'm able to, when I think of problems, I no longer think, let me call my therapist, I think of God. Now I'm able to, because they feel so small, like even when it's like something that you think it's big, but to me, because I've went through worse, now everything feels so small. So I'm grateful that, like, that's why I always say, yes, pray, but I do advocate for therapy. I do very much advocate for therapy because honestly speaking, I'm not saying pray, like, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying God does not work, but God can work through your therapist.
Yeah, and through other
Through
people.
other
Yeah.
people.
I have a story to add to that. Through other people, because honestly, before I started going to therapy. I prayed to God. I was like, God, you know, you and I know I have this thing, and it's making life difficult for me. So please, like, help me heal this thing. And I honestly think that my therapist was God sent.
Same.
Honestly,
Same.
like she was amazing, and like you said, like I owe her my life.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So I think God uses people around you, and He knows. Like I took it to Him, and I was like, God, this thing is ruining my life.
Yeah.
You can tell it's messing me up, and I don't want to live like this. And I think, yeah, and I found a therapist, and she was really good, and she worked with me. Like she worked with me, and yeah, and like you said, now I can take the small things. I can take them to God. Yeah.
And like I've realized one thing about myself is that when I'm very emotional, I can't hear things. So imagine trying to hear God when I'm like wrecking, emotional, you know. So I'm very, very much glad that like now I have like coping skills. Like he gave me the resources to be able to tackle these things. That like now I'm able to sit still and actually hear His voice. So mentally, I'd say if you want mental health, you can like ask God, you know, send me that therapist, send me that help, send me whatever it is that you think is going to need me to be able to come to you with these small things.
I think it's something that we don't talk a lot about, especially in the Christian community. We always ban down the relationship between your mental well-being and your relationship with God in the mix of it. Same as when you're at church. There are some churches that you won't even hear a single drop of mental wellness and how to navigate around that. Because I think there are people that actually that can't afford therapy. And that don't know anything about mental wellness and what's so not. So what if a huge contributing factor to their lives deteriorating is actually also them not being actually having that light shed on them, regardless of therapy or not? I don't know if I'm making sense.
One thing I've realized about God is that He knows your life. God knows that you are able to afford this, you're not able to afford this. He wouldn't send you help that's going to require you to be able to afford it or not. I don't know if I'm making sense. God knows that God knows that, okay, Tato needs help. Tato on medical aid. Tato khono to this person. Kitlo send that Tato to this person. But He also knows that, okay, Masisi needs help. Masisi, so kitam sendela gugu. You understand? That's why I'm saying go to Him first and tell Him, oh God, I need this, but I can't afford this. And I also don't limit Him. You know, don't say I can't afford therapy, but I need therapy. What am I gonna do? You understand? It's like,
yeah. Can I just quickly add something? Yeah. So when I started therapy, so I was living in Joburg for like 10 years, right? I was living in Joburg for 10 years, and then I moved back home. So in Falcom, so I moved back home. That's when I was like, okay, now I need to start therapy and everything, whatnot. So when I was in Joburg, I was struggling finding a therapist. And let me tell you, with therapy, they charge based on the area that you live in. So if I was still in Joburg, I was probably going to pay like 1.5 for a therapist. And at that time, I didn't have medical aid. So I resigned from my job. So obviously, I don't have medical aid anymore. So when I got back to Valcom, I was like, okay, I don't have money. I don't have medical aid. I don't have enough money. I just have the money that my mom is giving me. But I'm going to make sure that I find a therapist. So I prayed about it, and I got a therapist that I could afford. So exactly what you're saying, like God will take you exactly where you have to go. Yeah.
He will provide the help
that you need.
Yeah.
You were saying? No, I was gonna say something along those lines. But what I also want to add is that I think a lot of times churches don't talk about mental health because when they do talk about it, it's very weaponized. It's very this demon anxiety, this demon depression. When it's consequences sometimes of certain actions from how we grew up. Sometimes you need to say, yeah, I'm not okay because I never learned how to deal with emotions. Now I'm overstimulated. Now I'm overwhelmed and I don't know how to deal with these emotions because the people I lived with and I grew up with didn't know how to deal with them as well. So going to God is saying, I need to deal with this, not just for me, but to live life. I cannot feel this way as well. Because I honestly, personally, I don't like the weaponizing of anxiety because I think some people think that anxiety is what like you invite it. No, but let me tell you my journey with anxiety. I've since I was little, my mind races. I would not sleep. And when I say I would not sleep, I don't sleep. So, and I was so sick and tired of being so sick and tired because literally I would be sick and tired. So I was like, I'm always shaking. I'm always, I get sharp, man. I'm jumpy. And until I sat down with God, oh no, I can't. I'm exhausted. And I don't know what it is. Because people were like, oh, you're inviting it. Don't worry. And you don't have fear. Sometimes you don't have fear. I'm navigating life the way I was taught. And it's not working. So I prayed about it. I really did pray about it. God, Jesus, this anxiety,
It's not my portion.
no, it really isn't, because this cannot be life. I cannot see people enjoying life. They can't be walking around with this. This is not okay. So fortunately, I had medical aid, and I went to therapy for the first time, and I did not participate at all, in a sense of I really was like, oh, I'm not telling you my business. You're not going to tell me. And then I went the second time when I was really not in a good place. And I was like, oh, I actually need to be mentally well to function in life. And it's not a spirit. I just don't know how to deal with things. Things overwhelm me more than the next person. I remember I had a panic attack in Clicks because I had to choose lotion. And when I explained that to people, they were like, oh, it's just lotion. Gary, you don't understand. You don't understand the things that go through my mind. What I had to think about. To a point, somebody's like, you're okay. You don't need to, Gary. I need to go home, actually. This is crazy. So I think people should stop weaponizing anxiety, and people should stop inviting it as well. Because it's not something little, nor is depression. Having mental health issues or dealing with mental health issues should be that. You're dealing with mental health issues. It's not a trend either.
Some evil spirit.
It's not.
Yeah. Something I also wanted to add is that God wants to use us. So it's like, how is he going to use you if you're dealing with these things? God needs you to be grand. God wants you to be grand. So it's not crazy to take it to him and say, hey, I have depression, I have anxiety, I can't be helping the next person, I can't be saving souls, I can't be soul winning in this state. And he's going to give you the help that you need to be grand so that you can be able to do the things that he's called you to. We are all called here for a bigger purpose. So you can't attend to that purpose if the depression, the anxiety, yes, they are there, and he knows that he just wants us to invite him into it, to help us and to vocalize it and to admit. I feel like so many of us are in denial of the things that are going on in our lives. And like, this person knows your heart and you want to go into the sacred space, performative, expressing fake gratitude. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, meanwhile you are suffering.
Performative is the key word.
You understand? So I feel like we must be aware that he's called us to a bigger purpose and he wants us to be grand. So take it to him so that he can help. Only he can help you. Yes, he will send that therapist, but he sent that therapist. You understand? He works through people to help us.
Even if it isn't therapists, because
literally anyone can be an instrument for your help.
I think, yeah, that's true.
I feel like my favorite part is when he uses strangers. You know how he always like, it's so easy to vent to strangers. That time you don't know, like, this person is saying, and suddenly you are saying everything. I thought you feel so relieved and like peaceful, and that time you're venting to a whole string. He uses people, and I love that. Like, sometimes he even answers those prayers that we are scared to pray. You know, those ones in our heart, like, you need help, my sister. Like, you need help, and sometimes even that help can come through you being at clicks and like you realizing that you need help, because how else would you have known
How would you have
if you
known?
did not have that panic?
Yeah.
Because you knew all along that you were struggling, but you didn't know how bad it is until you're put in that position. Now you have to choose between lotion.
It's lotion.
Like
It's
just
lotion. But when you do reflection, you're just like, well, maybe it was more than the lotion. It's just that the lotion situation had to happen in order for you to. Yeah. I think I relate to that a lot, because there's a lot of things actually. I think I'm in my finding myself era this year, man. There's just a lot of. I don't think it ever ends. But I think every year is unique. And at this year, you know what? It's such a God orchestrated move. Girl, our carpooling saved me from a lot. And I don't think I'm very grateful to God for that. So I don't know, please, we're not getting emotional. We're talking about this.
I want to say something. Let me tell you guys, I'm not a morning person. Okay? I told her, if I'm quiet, if you see me not answering, it's not personal. I am not in the mood. I remember this other day, she was like, "Can I say something?" No. And at the end of the day, I hope you didn't take that back.
You're not a boring person.
I'm not.
Real.
I didn't, but I'm boiling back to the fact that some of our conversations actually, you don't know how much of an impact they had on me. When you say that God uses people, she goes to therapy. She used to go to therapy. And then I'll just randomly say, yo, guys, just like, Google, can I ask you something? And I'd just speak, like, so. And then she'd be like, no, my therapist said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so every time I encounter that, I'm like, Google said her therapist said.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
It's so nice. Like every time, when I'm crashing out, or maybe I used to have this thing, yeah. If I'm gonna come and tell Google, yo, and I don't know how am I going to confront her, because what if she's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she's like, but my sister, why unahanela the next person I'm already 10 steps ahead of the conversation. I've already concluded one is who's gonna cut me off. Yes. So our conversations actually saved me from a lot of. So every time I'm in a situation where I start I'm like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Basically, let me not conclude the conversation. So
I read somewhere where we're like our human nature is that we want a response, right? So when we talk to God, we don't get that immediate response, and sometimes you really need it. So what he does is that he will take the next person that can give you the response. Suddenly the friend is like, yo friend, are you okay? Just after you're talking to God, and suddenly that thing that and sometimes I have this thing there where when I'm going through something, I feel like no one will get it. So I want to talk to God first. But then there's a friend that's going to come after the conversation and say, hey friend, suddenly I feel the need to tell them all, actually, because I can't lie, I'm not a grand. Then I'll get that response, and sometimes that's God, because he couldn't give you that, that is what you needed. He will take that friend and give you that answer through the friend. He will give you that help through the friend. So he does use people all the time. And maybe be those friends too.
I'm
guys.
grateful to God for my people.
Maybe be
my people are peopling. Yeah, my people are peopling. I think I'm also speaking from coming from a place of I've always been independent. I never ask for help. I never ask for anything. And then at some point of my life, I really prayed to God. I said, please put me in a space where I need people. Where I should actually need people. Whether it's me having a crash out, can I call Didi and vent to her and depend on her that she will. I'm not taking away the fact that I go to God first, but can I have people like you're not I'm crashing out now. Ntate Mdimo is not going to give me an immediate response. I have literally people in my mind who I know when I want to talk about this certain thing, I can call Didi because she's going to handle it better than responsibility in my life. If I'm having problems sabashimani, ufile gugu. If I'm having problems samsebezi, ufile Didi. It's so nice.
I mean, we're not meant to do this life thing alone, guys. We're not meant to do this life thing alone. Like, So it's very nice to have people around. It's very nice to
Yeah.
have a community, to have a safe space where you're just able to just be yourself, to vent and to laugh,
Mm.
to live.
I think one more question before we
Wrap it up.
it's questions for everyone.
Okay.
You saw that side.
You carried the show. Okay, my question is, if you would advise your younger self, regardless of what age, you pick an age, and what advice would you give them, and why that age?
Advice that they should take, or like tell them you're gonna be okay.
What would you say?
Just-
what would you say to?
I think 14, 15. Life is a good life. Just because things happen doesn't mean life is bad. Life is good. And good looks very different for people. But life is good. You don't need to take things so seriously.
All the time.
Don't need to be so serious. And another thing is that people will like you for you. It's okay to be you.
Okay. Oh, same question. I don't know what age I was, but I think the year before my mom passed, the advice to that girl was just to be kinder to her, man. I mean, I remember what I said about giving grace to like our parents now. Obviously, to the ones that are present now, I am that, but I wish that I was that to her. So to that girl, I would just say be nicer to her, be kind to her. She's doing this for her first time, you know. So that's the advice that I would give to her. Stop being a bee, girl. Take it down a notch, you know. So yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna pick. Okay, I have two ages, but I'm gonna pick one. So 7. So I'd tell little me that you're enough. You're enough, and yeah, you're lovable. Like you're enough, because it's at that age where most of my childhood trauma started. So I felt like I always have to match up to my sister and be as good as she was. So yeah, so I learned to be performative, even like with friends and relationships. So whenever I met people, I'd always put on a mask, because at home I felt like I was not good enough, you know. So I would tell her that you're enough, just the way you are. You're enough. You don't have to change anything about yourself. Be yourself. You are enough, and the world will accept you as you are. Also, yeah.
Word of the day: performative. Performative. What a word!
You're literally the very mask every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because then I have so many ages that I could. Yeah, ne. What age? What age? I think it was the year my grandmother passed on. When was it? 2020.
You're
so funny. I think it had to be 2020 when my grandmother passed on, because that I think that was is it the pivot? Is that the word? What pivot, Kunj? What is this?
Everything went
decline.
down. Down here, everything went down this.
Yes.
Decline, okay.
Naman, guys, what do you call that word? Yeah, when a change, like a change happens, man. Oh
makes
my
sense though, 'cause,
goodness.
like,
Yes,
it
yes.
took a turn.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just basically checking out the bombastic English.
Yes.
That's sorry, I'm not taking
Yesterday I was telling okay, I have a boyfriend now. I was telling my boyfriend that I'm going to a round table tomorrow. Can we just speak English? I don't want to get there and I'm mumbling. I was like, can you please speak English the whole entire day today because tomorrow.
I know Google's like, yo, I'm just like, what and I've been doing it the whole time. Like, what's the word? What's the word? I think I just naturally tend to look to my right side.
Okay.
So I speak. I don't know what you say. Yeah, I think that was the pivot of my life because everything changed. Like literally everything. Till this day, you can still feel the ripple effect of her passing. You know, and the relationship dynamics in the family has changed. It's that thing, man. You know that quote where they say when that one family member passes on, everything in the family changes. So it was then where I realized that people had this certain expectation of me to have it together because I've always had it together. When people passed on, I'm the strong one. I don't cry. I'm the one that checks on everyone until my grandmother passed on, and I realized, I can't. I'm just a girl. What do you mean? So I would say to her, you're just a girl. Everything will work out the way it needs to work out. You're just a girl. And I was really just a girl, a 20-something-year-old. I just entered my 20s and now I'm carrying people. Hi. Okay, but I think, thank you guys.
This is nice. This is so nice. This is so nice.
I think we even spoke over the time that we actually. Yeah, but it's okay.
Can I just say, I was just telling my friend the other day that I'm an extrovert. So I get most of my energy from interacting with people. That's why I was doing radio in uni and like I was always out there. So obviously life now has forced me to kind of be, so every single time I have such interactions, like I'm so hyped. I don't think you guys realize, like I'm so hyped. Like, I'm so hyped. Like, oh my gosh, like whoa. So thank you so much.
I think it takes such an environment, really. I know for sure that it was really God orchestrated more than anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was going to invite. I genuinely didn't. Like, I just went. So I can say I walked by faith.
Yeah.
It's a testimony because so thank you very much. Guys, I don't know. Hey, we might have another,
All right.
Okay. I'm just telling
Because
I'm just telling our viewers that this is not the last time that they see you guys on the screens, the gorgeous faces. They'll be back. I think let's call it wraps for now. Wait, we're not done. What are you doing? Oh, do you have any? Do you have any socials that you like people to follow you on? Because you have a podcast.
Yes.
I think this is your time to shine, my girl.
Okay, guys, this is my time to shine now. Okay, you guys can follow my podcast and listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It's called From a Girl's Girl. You can also find it on Instagram. Handle is From a Girl's Girl. Or you can just follow me on TikTok. My handle is Didi_Masita. You can also follow me on Instagram. But yeah, I'm not that great on Instagram. So let's stick to TikTok and Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I just want to say mentally prepare yourself for that podcast because you will be fetched.
Great. Why are you looking at me?
My girl, it's your time to shine.
Oh, I don't have anything to promote. You can follow me on socials though if you want.
But you're a content creator, Mo.
I guess.
Are you doing it for fun?
Yes, like I don't.
So at no point of your life would you like to monetize it or see yourself?
I'd be lying if I said no, but at the same time, it's not running like hers where I'm just like go, like if you find me, sure, love to have you there, So it's just momia.za and on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm back on Facebook as well. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Goes.
It's just me, myself, and I. You will not find me anywhere. Actually, I'm lying. You will, but I will not accept anything. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're fine with not being known.
My social media is just for me and my family.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your cousins and your entire family down the generation. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
And it's a wrap.
That was really nice.
This was